And we're live
From Curacao, y'all.
from Curacao. What was I calling Carousel?
I don't know what he was saying. It feels like we're kind of back in Portugal because Curacao was a Portuguese territory for a small time there, and so Curacao is definitely Portuguese. Definitely, definitely, definitely. So here's the deal, y'all. Black America over the next 5 years, things are going to get difficult. And I don't mean to be hyperbolic, but
Yeah, unless a miracle happens. But they'll say that we're fear mongering.
yeah, yeah. And they said that we were fear mongering when we warned that if the melon felon got back into office, that he would weaponize the government against its people and against his political enemies.
Mm.
Right? They said we were fear mongering when we said that he would turn the military against American people. They said we were fear mongering when we said that he would destroy the constitutional norms of America. We said that over a year and a half ago, and they said we were fear mongering.
Yeah, and
just like the melon felon demolished part of the people's house, the White House, he is demolishing the American democracy and Western dominance.
God.
So,
And to your point, Black unemployment and underemployment is back and at the highest since the pandemic.
yeah, well, that's not surprising because the bottom line is that I'm sorry, we've got something going on over here, and it started. So look, I got to make sure that it's muted. I got to make sure it's muted over there. But anyway, yeah, I have my earplugs in. Anyway, it's not surprising that Black unemployment is at an all-time high since the pandemic because, I mean, the truth of the matter is, even with an MBA, y'all, I have been laid off of the majority of the jobs that I have had over my career, and I know that the highest Black unemployment over the last 40 to 60 years have always, except for that small period right after COVID, when Biden took place, the highest Black unemployment have always been under the Republicans. As high as 16 to 20%, y'all. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. And so I don't want to hear from all you folks who get up into our comments talking about it don't matter, it's all the same. In some ways it is. And in some ways, everybody is to blame for the shit show that we are in right now.
And it is a shit show we're in.
However,
However,
one believes in democracy and the other does not. All right, sweetheart. So what are we talking about today?
Today we're going to let you know, we're not all going to make it, y'all. And here's why. So we're going to quickly illustrate all of the signs that the next 5 years are going to be hellish.
Hell-ish. And then you want to stick around because we've got 3 different scenarios, right? 3 different scenarios, and we want to discuss these exit plans of these different scenarios. All right. So we're going to talk about if you might find yourself in one or see yourself in one of these scenarios, and we're going to talk about how you can get out and what you need to do to get out ASAP.
Right? Yeah, and these scenarios came from folks who book calls with us.
That's right. That's right. One-on-one calls.
Over the past couple of months.
Right. And so if you want to book a one-on-one call with us, that information is in the description below. So if you're new to our channel, then you might not know what back.
It's been a while.
I don't know, 2018 or something like that.
Time keeps getting longer and longer.
Rick and I got a wake-up call. Y'all. We looked at our money and it looked crazy.
It looked crazy, y'all. Real crazy. Stupid crazy.
But we did get our financial act together, and we went from negative 22,000 to over 1.1 million. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, y'all, subscribe. We believe that this information is vital for the Black diaspora, and we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We know half of y'all be watching our videos, be lurking around in the background with commitment issues. Or some of you think you're subscribed and you're like, I thought I was subscribed and I did. I thought I was a channel member, but I'm not, right?
Come on now. Hit that subscribe button.
It's free. Hit the notification bell and you will know every single time that we go live or drop a new video. Wait, did we even introduce ourselves? You know, my name's Halisi, y'all.
And I'm the other person in her life. I'm Rick. Welcome to our Black Utopia.
On our channel, we talk about money, travel, and life abroad. We help folks who look like us who are getting close to retirement age and forgot to plan. We help you get your money straight so you can retire on time or maybe even early.
And abroad is not a bad place to do it either.
Abroad is not a bad thing. All right, so we see all of y'all in the chat and we are going to say hello after we talk about the first sign. But before we do that, we got to give a shout out to Francine, who is also a channel member. And she hung out with us for an hour before we went live, along with 20 other of our close personal friends. We have a lot more members than that, but you know, they ain't got time to be hanging out. They ain't got time to be hanging out, right? We chitty chatted, but I want y'all to know every single dime of this money goes to our scholarship fund for Beyond the Bling. Beyond the Bling is our financial freedom program for late bloomers like ourselves. So everything that we learned, right, to get ourselves out of the hole and to get ourselves retired is in that program. We meet every second Saturday of the month for group coaching. So all that information is in the description below. All right, number one, this is in no particular order, actually, but the first sign that the demolition of the East Wing is similar to the demolition of America is illustrative. Oh my God, that was just so painful to watch.
Yes, it's painful.
And that is
productivity and wealth has increased, but wages are nearly stagnant.
And have been stagnant ever since America decided to jump on the stupid ass Reagan train of trickle down bull crap nonsense economics. Okay, it doesn't work. I don't know. Ask Argentina if it works.
Well, don't they got some more money?
Oh yeah, they get 60 billion of our money, so they can make sure that people have universal health care, and so they can make sure their people can go to university without incurring all of this student loan debt.
What's wrong with that picture?
Right? And so since the 70s, productivity has been increasing at a clip, okay? When productivity increases, wealth increases. But wages have been increasing like this, and inflation like this. So basically, wages have been stagnant. Buying power has not really increased in 50 to 60 years in this country, in the United States. Okay? For Black people, it's even worse. And it's going to continue to get worse. And where did all that wealth go? Where did all the wealth go? We were working harder. We were creating all of this wealth. Where did it go?
To the top 2%.
The top 2% of households got the wealth, right? They got 50% of all of the wealth that was created from 1980 to today. The top 2%. I don't know about you, but that ain't you and I.
And hey, in the bottom 50% saw their wealth shrink.
Right? Unfortunately, there are too many of us in our community in the bottom 50%, and they saw their wealth shrink. Because we know that for every dollar that a white man earns, a Black man earns how much?
66 cents.
No, that's a Black
woman. Excuse me, for every dollar a white man earns, a Black man earns 77 cents. Excuse me.
And Black women 66 cents. If we think that life in America is going to be okay after 2026, I'm here to tell you that you are wrong. He has demolished the system, and Humpty Dumpty has fallen off the wall. Y'all, it's going to take a lot of folks to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Okay? And it's going to be cracked and wobbly and all that other stuff. Okay. So we don't want you guys to be in denial. We don't want you to be in denial. Okay. As you see, for the folks who are tuning in late, if you're watching from the future, hey, we're in Curacao, y'all. We're in Curacao, and then the next time you see us, we will be probably in Mexico.
Mexico, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be back in Mexico. So if you want to live a life like this, join us. All right. Join Beyond the Bling if money is the issue. If you need to make more money, join the Freedom Lab, community, the Side Hustle Challenge. That information is coming up. If it's just that you're afraid or this or that or the other, and you need to meet like-minded people, our meetup is coming up. Well, it ain't coming up till it's June 2026. It always is going to be the week of Juneteenth. All right. And guess what, y'all? If you are a member of this channel, you already know that next Sunday, we're having a private Zoom call to talk about the meetup and answer all of your questions. So if you think you want to come to Lisbon, Portugal in June of 2026 for our meetup, the paid part is 2 days, but the activities are 7 days. All right. So you want to block out at least 10 days for the meetup, y'all. I'm just telling you, maybe more. And you can use this as a scouting trip or as a move date, even if you're not moving to Portugal.
Yeah.
Right? You can still use that as your move date. Okay, I'm going to have everything together. I'm going to go to Portugal. I'm going to go to this meetup, and then I'm moving to Spain. Or then I'm moving to South Africa, wherever you are moving to. I see you, Benita. And so, Benita, if you are a member, what you need to do is you need to go over to our YouTube page. Go over to Our Black Utopia's YouTube page, right? And there's all those tabs. There's a tab for shorts, live, and posts. Under the posts, some posts are public, but most of the posts are for members only. And they've got all of the links to all of the perks, okay? And so you just need to go on to and the link doesn't change. So once you get it, put it into your calendar, and then you just have it, and then you just know. All right. Then you just know. All right. So thank you, Benita, for the shout out and for the super sticker or super chat, whatever it is. And you did not need to pay. I was looking for you. I was actually looking for you, and I thought that maybe because you were a new member, you couldn't see the old posts. Okay, but that's what you need to do. So if you're a member, just go over to our YouTube page and go under the post tab, and you will see the link. If you are a legend, you will see the link for the backstage pass, so you can come backstage and hang out with us and come on air every other Thursday. All right. So number one was productivity and wealth has increased, but wages have been nearly stagnant for the past 50 years. This is by design, folks. It is by design. And we're not going to spend a lot of time. Let us know how the signal is. Let us know how the signal is.
I'm keeping an eye on it. But
yeah, because we are wired in, I think. Yeah.
No,
we're not.
We couldn't wire in. There's no place to wire in.
You can't.
Nope.
Oh, wow.
They had one connection.
Oh, what kind of router only has one connection? Anyway,
one connection.
So we're on Wi-Fi, y'all. We're on Wi-Fi, but it looks like it's kind of okay. And signal is fine. Okay, great. All right, so let's see who is in the chat. First, we've got to give a shout out who is always here.
Action VJ.
Who is always here helping out. Thank you, Action VJ. And I'm sure we will see that Greta also is in the house. But starting from the top, hey, Dr. James Greer, good to see you in the house. Allison is in the house. Francine is in the house. CK. Shanora, hello. Karen Louise, good to see you. Hello. So happy to not be in the U.S. right now, working out of Singapore. Wow. Isn't it clean there? It is so clean. How hot is it?
I like that place. I really do like that place, Karen Louise.
It's really pretty. It is really pretty. I mean, it's gorgeous. And if you haven't seen, I'm sure you've gone to a garden of lights, like trees that are lights and all of that. I'm sure you've gone.
They should be getting ready for
Christmas and all of that. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, it was Christmas when we were there. Yeah, so it was really cool. It was really cool. Hey, Rapper MD is in the house. Dr. Sanji is in the house. Gwen and Derek Travels is in the house.
Yes,
Francine,
yes.
Francine,
Hey,
thank
Chef
you
Francine.
again. Thank you, Tana Rose. You might have to leave some people behind or create a space for their soft landing when they make it, right?
There you go. That's the plan.
Right? Look, sometimes we have to be the leaders and we can't wait. We cannot wait, you guys. We cannot wait. Everybody's not going to get it at the same time. So thank you. I still don't know how to pronounce your name, Vizel Guru. I think Vizel P Guru. Um, and every time I see your name, I think of you saying that Panama is not bougie enough for me. Hey, Ballerina, Pacific Northwest, good to see you. Loranda is in the house. Francine Kitchens is in the house. All right, you guys. Shantae, we
Killer
love you
Queen.
guys. Killer Queen, thank you, family, for coming through. Hello, Kimmy. We see all of you. Robin, Cassandra, Carla, Bonita, LDN. All right, y'all. Ra A, we love you guys. Christian Culpepper, thank you so much for hanging out with us on a Sunday. You could be a lot of other places,
Christian's
but
in
you just
Alita, Spain.
ooh, yay! Hey there. All right now. I can't wait. I'm actually missing home, y'all. I'm actually missing home. I really am missing home. So cannot wait to get back to Europe. But got to see my mommy one more time before I go. All right, number two. The number two sign that these next 5 years are going to be hell the effing hellish.
Healthcare for we, but not for thee.
The government is shut down right now. The government is shut down right now because the MAGA Republicans do not want you to have health care coverage that you can afford. They want you to go bankrupt. My question is why? I just want to know who's going to be buying all of this stuff since America is a consumer market. Its whole market is consumerism, right? We sell services, we sell information, we sell intelligence, and then we just buy stuff. That's what we do now. That's what we do. I want to know who's going to buy stuff. Because as of November 1st, what's going to happen? SNAP benefits are going away.
They disappear. Yeah, they're going away.
Well, they're not going away forever, but they're going away until the government opens back up. So if nothing happens, like I think people are already getting letters. If nothing happens by the 27th, 28th, something like that of October, then some folks have received letters saying, or they hear a recording saying, yeah, your card will not be re-upped. Your EBT card will not be re-upped come November 1st. So what are people going to do? What are people going to do? The other people have been receiving letters talking about what their ACA premiums are going to be, right?
Yeah.
Those subsidies right now are not set to renew in that big bullshit bill. They're not set to renew.
But they got bailouts for Argentina.
But they've got bailouts for Argentina.
But they're not willing to help the American student loan holders.
Right?
What's wrong with this picture?
Right? So what are we doing here? We've got bombs for other countries. Those other countries have universal health care and their university is free. They don't have a student loan debt crisis in these other countries that we are sending money to. So we've got money for all these other things. While the SNAP benefits, oh well, too bad, so sad. And while people are, paying $200, $300, $400, $500 for their ACA right now, they're getting letters saying, oh, yeah, so as of next January 1st, you can expect to be paying $1,000, $1,200, $1,500, $2,000, I saw one couple say. From $500 to $2,000. And they were struggling to come up with the $500. But it was working.
Yeah.
I don't know what the end game is with these MAGA Republicans. I don't know. But one thing that I do know is things for Black Americans are going to get hellish. Why do I keep saying Black Americans? Because look, we don't have the same protections.
Yep.
We don't have the same wealth networks that other folks do. We just don't. And that has been by design, that has been systemic as well, right? We know, we're not going to go into all of that. We know why. We know why, all right? It has been the wet dream of the MAGA Republicans since FDR to privatize Social Security, privatize Medicare, right?
Medicare, to privatize the U.S. Postal Service.
U.S. Postal Service, right? And then when Medicaid came in, to privatize that as well. Why? Why? Because they have always been into taking public money, tax dollars, and putting them into private hands. What do you think the whole education voucher bullshit reform is about? There is a lot of money in education, and one of the biggest money makers is public education, K through 12.
Yep.
You had a company providing, is bad enough. You got a few companies providing all the books for all the schools nationwide. That's a monopoly. You might not do politics, babies, but politics is doing you, and you don't even realize it.
You don't even realize.
You don't even realize it, right? And that's why they're destroying the Department of Education, so that they can privatize all this. Public dollars into private hands. Public dollars into private hands. That's what it's always been about. Why these MFers need more money. They have more money than a person can spend in 20 lifetimes, and it's still not enough. But we're sick. Yeah, right, right. You know the drill. Put a Q in front of your question or comment. We're going to finish with the 5, and then we will take questions before we get to the scenarios. All right. Number 1 was wealth has gone up, but not to us, right?
No.
Not to us. Number 2, the safety net is gone, y'all. Safety net gone. They're trying to take away the last of it. Privatizing Social Security, Medicare, et cetera, right? But if the big bullshit bill, once that is enacted, healthcare gone. SNAP benefits for a lot of people, gone. AFDC for a lot of folks, gone. Medicaid for a lot of folks, gone. Gone. Medicaid and the ACA basically are the same thing at this point. Or they're so intrinsically tied together. Okay? They knew what they were doing. They could not repeal Obamacare because they still don't have anything to replace it with. So instead, they just take it apart piece by piece. And they started by taking folks to court, taking stuff to court and saying, you can't tax people the $500. You can't make it mandatory that people have healthcare coverage. This is how they strip away our rights. This is how they strip away our rights while we're arguing about and talking about what the Kardashians are doing, and Diddy did, and all this other nonsense. They're taking away your rights. All right, number 3.
Boom and bust bullshit.
All right, capitalism in and of itself is not intrinsically the problem. People are the problem.
Yeah, because they're greedy.
Exactly.
Greedy.
And so because they're greedy, we need government to make sure that there are strong guardrails around capitalism to protect the people. Because men with small wee-wees are on a power trip. That's the problem. That's the problem. Capitalism with strong people-centered regulations can work. It really can. And we can democratize capitalism. We can. I used to work in an industry that's what we did. I mean, imagine a world where 20 to 30 to 40% of the major corporations were partially employee owned. From the janitor to the senior vice president or the CFO of whatever. Well, he's probably a shareholder, so he wouldn't be part of it. But to the senior vice president of whatever, everybody would be a profit participant. Everybody would be a co-owner. Everybody would have a little bit of a voice. How much of a different world would we have? How much? So Black Americans tend to be the most vulnerable during booms and busts. Why is that?
Because they sell when the market is down and they buy when it's up.
This is what Black folks do. This is what we tend to do.
We do the reverse of what we should be doing.
Exactly. Exactly. So we panic because we don't know what we're doing, but we think we do, and then we don't be asking nobody, and we don't be talking to nobody.
Yeah, because we're losing money. We're losing money because the market just dropped.
Yeah, the market dropped. I lost all this money. Only on paper.
Only on paper. It's a paper loss. It's not money loss.
It's not real. It's not real until you sell.
Until you sell, and then you turn around and try to buy as it's going up.
So while we're selling as the market is falling and then buying when it goes back up like goofballs, the cronies, the melon felon and all his cronies and all of these folks, they know what the upcoming deregulations and regulations are going to be. And so they're buying the dip, right? And selling off before regulations get strong. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. We're not part of that, by and large, right? We're not part of that, Black America. Oops. Number 4. Number 4. AI, the big bullshit bill, and incompetence equal inequality on steroids. Right? Right?
Yeah.
AI would have to become the disruptor at this moment in time, with the melon felon laying off like 1/3 of the public workforce, right? And then what else is happening?
And the big bullshit bill will make what Reagan did look like
child's play. Child's play. If we thought inequities got ridiculous over the last 40 to 50 years, and we just talked about 50% of the wealth went to the top 2%. If we thought that was bad, watch what happens over the next 5 to 10 years, y'all. Watch what happens over the next 5 to 10 years. If everything in that big bullshit bill is enacted, y'all, we are in for a hurt of trouble.
Unless something fundamentally shifts before midterm elections, which, my personal opinion, if I may, I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't either. I don't even think we're going to have a midterm. I don't think we're going to have a true midterm election. This is how democracies die. We're watching it, y'all. We're watching it. We are watching it, and no one's doing anything about it. The folks who can do something about it, they're not doing anything about it. I don't know what to say. But, between them gerrymandering, right? Between them gerrymandering, that tells me, okay, they anticipate an election. But now he's sending troops everywhere. Why? Because he wants to call martial law and then say, oh, we need to delay the election. We're just going to delay the election until things calm down. Well, things are never going to calm down as long as people are hungry. And that's the whole point. That is the whole point. All right. Number 5. This is the last one.
So the government hasn't been about the people since the 70s.
It just hasn't, y'all.
No.
It just hasn't, okay? In general, this is how it goes. Corporations get a stronghold over the government, choke it out, get their tentacles in, choke the people, and create this these huge inequities in incomes. We saw it during the late 1800s, and then things start low, but people get pissed off, right? The Great Depression happens, and then we do a reset. FDR was part of that reset. Now here we go again. They see, the government got scared. The 60s made the government scared. They're like, look, all these people got all this free time, all these kids at school, and they protesting. We used to be able to just do wars however we wanted to do wars. And now they out here protesting and stuff. Oh no, we got to shut this shit down, shut it down. And the corporations looked around and said, yeah, shut it down. Shut it down, because we need these government contracts with the military industrial complex, right? Right? And also, while we're at it, let's get rid of them unions. Let's get rid of them. We know they got the weekend because of the unions and all of this other stuff. But you know what? We about to make this money, bro. We about to make this money. Get rid of the unions. This has been happening since the 70s, and we watched it and we let it happen. And we let it happen. And slowly but surely, rights have been taken away. And the people's rights have been decreasing while corporations and special interest rights have been increasing. So faulty court rulings have led to a criminal amount of money being spent, not just on campaigns.
Right.
Not just on campaigns, you guys, but on influence. That's the thing. That's the thing. We just look and say, oh, so-and-so raised $750 million. That's ridiculous. We could have had that has nothing to do with the money that is spent every single day influencing the people who are already elected, from the school board all the way up to the presidency and everything in between. Corporate lobbyists not only influence laws, but they also manipulate the rule makers at the various departments, whatever departments are left. So for instance, it wouldn't be surprising to see Shell and Chevron lobbyists cozying up to the whoever is in charge of the rulemaking of the Department of Energy. You see what I'm saying? Oh, so you cozying up to the senior vice president or whatever. I don't know how it works in government, what these titles are, but you get the point. Cozying up to these people, taking them out to dinner, to golf, to da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Next thing you know, it's not that the laws have changed, but the rules in how they interpret the laws have changed. This is the stuff that goes on. This is why we need money out of politics. All of this is going on. And we're talking about, I don't do politics. I don't do politics. Meanwhile, you're complaining about how much it costs to fill up your tank.
Exactly.
What about the special interest lobbyists?
I was going to say, before I say that, I was going to say, again, you may not do politics, but believe me, politics is definitely doing you.
That's right. That's right.
So special interest lobbyists like the Heritage Foundation create projects that infiltrate the government, from the local school boards all the way to the Oval Office.
All right. Stand your ground. Remember that? Remember that? That the reason why there are stand your ground laws around the country is because of Heritage Foundation types of organizations that take a effed up law that the NRA or somebody wants, and they shop it. They shop it. First, they test it out in a Texas or a Florida. They tweak it. Then they bring it to a Colorado, a Nevada, a Wyoming, and they shop it around until what they're trying to do is, and what they know is, if they can get a critical mass of states to adopt something federally, it will automatically have to change. If they can get a critical mass of states to adopt anti-abortion laws, the Supreme Court didn't even need to do what it did. And right now, it's still not illegal, right? They just got rid of the protections. They just got rid of the protections. So at this point, you guys, I'm just going to tell you, Both major parties are getting campaign contributions by the same folks.
Yeah. That's what's crazy.
By the same folks, right? This APAC that y'all have been hearing about, I told y'all, I had to bow down to APAC. They didn't endorse me when I ran for office way back when. Even though city council has absolutely nothing to do with foreign law. What they know is, and what we forget is that somebody who's city council today could be congressperson tomorrow, could be senator the next day. You see what I'm saying? And so while we're busy trying to keep up with what's happening with Diddy, your rights and your wealth are being snatched from you. All right? They're trying to take us backwards, and they've been trying to take us backwards since the 1960s. Yeah. So that's what we got, folks. That's what we got. The 5 reasons that we know the next 5 years are going to be hell on earth for Black America. It's time to go. All right? It is time to go. All right.
So now's the time to really ditch conventional wisdom and to really get creative.
Seriously, folks. Seriously. All right. So I'm going all the way down to the bottom. I'm looking for the cues in front of your, sorry about that. I didn't mean to put that up right then, but they want everyone afraid of Black people. Yes. To them, we are the violent ones, which makes no sense because we know every single time, like the Kirk kid, and they're doing bomb threats and stuff at HBCUs. But we knew. The laws changed when the Black Panthers carried guns into the California State House. I remember.
Yeah, because they said we have the right, Second Amendment.
I remember because my parents were all up in the civil rights movement. And so, I remember all of that. All of it. And it is straight wickedness, what they are doing. Our local doctor says, those who can't get out now need to work on the neighborhood garden, right? Buying food at farmers markets, right? Healthcare starts on the plate. She is so right. I know she's right. And I hear her in my head as I'm adding salt to stuff. I hear her in my head saying, stop it. You know better. And so we're going to go over the 3 scenarios, and we're going to talk about, like, if you cannot leave right now. All right. As you know, we do one-on-one coaching. That information is in the description below. If you're on a phone, hit more under the title. And that's how you see the description below, you guys. Okay. And then on a television, I don't know, because I rarely watch YouTube on the television. So someone in the chat can probably let you know, or if you're watching from the future, someone in the comment, watch the chat, or somebody in the comments, let them know how they can see the description of each video when you're watching on a television. Okay, y'all, I am still marking these questions. So the first scenario, I'm just going to give you guys a teaser. The first scenario, this person is a person who is under 50, who did the right things, right? They bought a house or condo, right? And before the age of 50, they paid off not only the condo or the house, they paid off their student loans as well. Unfortunately, now they're tired. And they have no savings because it all went to pay off their student loans and pay off their house. So they have very little savings, like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20,000, maybe 30, 40, 50, 60,000 in 401k. And they're tired of working. So that's the first scenario that we are going to discuss. And looking and marking these questions. So we're going to have a little short Q&A right now. And then if you're watching from the future and you want to fast forward through this, go ahead and fast forward through this part while I'm marking these. Okay, I know that I've got them all because there's Bonita's. All right. Oh, no, there's one more. I think, you guys, tonight is our last night in Curacao. And so for those of our who are members, we gave them a tour around this this Airbnb. We can't do it live because I think I can't remember what's what. But one of the places we said that they said no commercial photography or something like that. He is acting like it's his house. The melon felon is acting like he's not leaving, you guys. And you guys heard Steve Bannon on there talking about, on the news or the podcast, whatever, talking about, oh, and this was another time just recently in the last week or so, talking about, oh, we are finding ways around 2028. He said Donald Trump will be running for president in 2028. You can believe that. That's what Steve Bannon said, okay? Assuming God hasn't taken him.
God don't want him.
God. I know they did.
Yeah,
I know they did. And they're getting what they deserve. They could have had the person who helped increase membership and contracts over the last 4 years. They could have had, but they didn't like her laugh, right? They could have had that. America is still on the downfall. It would still have been on the downfall even with a President Kamala Harris. It's just we would have had a reprieve and people would not be disappeared off the street like they're being disappeared off the street. That would not have happened. Deportation like this would not have happened. Rounding up law-abiding folks, citizens or not, is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I never thought I'd see this in my lifetime. Did you ever think you'd see this?
Never.
I never thought that I would see part of the White House, a whole wing of the White House demolished on purpose. The Republicans. Oh my God, not the what'd you say? Reflugicans and orange face. Classic. I think you meant Republicans. Oh. Okay. You two look so awesome and stress-free. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Look, if you've emailed us, you know, I haven't really been answering. We've been trying to see all of these places that we've been, and you know, I still have to say, Colombia is gorgeous. Panama is gorgeous. We'll be back in Mexico. Can't wait. And Curacao is gorgeous. Now, could not live in Curacao. No, could not live on an island, but it's gorgeous. It's definitely gorgeous. Can't employees buy stock in the companies they work for now? That's not what I'm talking about, Moody. When I'm talking about democratizing capitalism, I'm not talking about just buying stock on the stock market. I'm talking about actually being a co-owner. There is a whole system. There's a whole system that is put in place. It's a buy-sell system within the company. And it's not like there's a system like that where you can buy and sell within the company, okay? Stock that is not on the open stock market. So there's that. But then there's also like what Chobani Yogurt does, where let's just say 20% of the company's profits and 20% of the company is owned by the employees. Period. The end. It's owned by the employees. That means 20% of the voting power is owned by the employees as well. Okay. And so they have a seat at the table with other shareholders. You know, they have representation at the table of shareholders and things like that. They can vote for somebody to be on the board. You know, there's all of these mechanisms and there's laws put in place and a way to do it. Okay. Whether it be a co-op or an ESOP or something like that. There are ways to do it. And we could have a totally different country. So yes, we could always buy the stock of the company that we work for on the stock market through our 401k or through our IRA or our brokerage account, etc. But that's not what we're talking about. Because this is not stock per se. Okay. Hello, Halisi and Rick. You look healthy and happy. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Over investment and depreciating items, which displays or mimics wealth. Yep, is a huge shortfall for Black Americans and excludes us from wealth building. Yes, yes. We need to stop looking rich, stop being caught up in looking rich, and get caught up in being rich. Right? Let's not get caught up in looking wealthy. Let's go about creating wealth.
Yeah. That's very true. Shiny objects,
right?
They do distract too well.
Right? So, and I don't like, we're talking, it's funny because every tour that we've been on, they want to take us to all of the souvenir shops and this and that. We don't buy that crap no more. We do not buy that stuff anymore. But I did buy, so you guys know I do the patches. So we did get the patches, got some patches. And then my mom, she wanted me to bring her magnets from some of the places. So there's so many cool artists. So I've got one from Medellin that's artistic like this, and one from here in Curacao from a local artist, magnets for my mom. But other than that, the patches for my jacket at home. Other than that, we're not buying all this stuff. You guys, stop spending money. Stop spending money. I don't understand how we buy clothes when they're on sale and not stock when they're on sale. Preach, Rapper MD, preach. But we don't have the inside scoop as to when to buy or sell stock. Well, look, we don't have the inside scoop per se like legislators do. But we kind of do. If we're really paying attention and we know what regulations they're talking about, they start whispering the stuff way beforehand, right? And we can start seeing where the things are going. But buying and selling, like we're trading, no. And that's too much work anyway. We're not trying to do all that. We're not trying to do all that. You really have to be skilled to make money trading. Okay. But buying and holding, yes, we can do that. We can do that. I always told parents someone had to be left behind to justify the money spent on all the new educational programs. Right? It's right. And so we get caught up. We get caught up in living through our kids and thinking that we have to, go into debt so that they can go to university debt free, when really they could just go to university debt free by leaving the United States. But we don't push that, right? We think everything, every program, every this, every that, to give them every edge. To what end, you guys? To what end? So that they can get into Harvard, so that they can get to do what?
Right.
To go work for these corporations to make them wealthy? And they're going to be so stressed out and probably still spending money as much as they're making. So 60 years old, instead of having millions and millions saved, they only got a couple 100,000 saved. To what end? What are we doing? Why are we playing their games? Why are we playing their games? It is easy to make money. We do not have to play their games. And so unless you are called to do something, don't play their games. Don't play their games. Food banks, federally funded, are gone too. Okay? The safety net, folks. People are going to start getting desperate out there. I can see the purge coming. My BA from Rutgers University is in history. Hey, Chris, if I teach true history, I could be thrown out of the country. Sure. Preach, right? That Argentina That Argentinian shit is crazy. Their government messed them up, right? He did the same exact thing. He even had a chainsaw. We know that austerity does not work. We saw it back in 2008, 2009. The countries that came back the slowest were the ones that practiced, austerity.
Mm.
We know it does not work. And Argentina's economy went, boop. Of course it did. Of course it did. Because you don't make money by cutting. Cut. No, that's not what you do. Lord. When are we going to get a clue that these men don't know what the FUCK they're doing? When are we going to get a clue? They do not know what they're doing. And we're giving $60 billion to Argentina while babies are going hungry starting November 1st in America. Got it. Put America first. Got it. The implosion of education is also about limiting knowledge and critical thinking, of course, so that they can stay in power, right? So that they can stay in power. Yep, trying to privatize the IRS and all of this Palantir crap that's going on. You guys, we've got to pay attention. And we've got to, all of the righteous white folks, we need you out there in those streets, and we need a general strike. We need you to step up. We need you to step up, and we need you to convince Meemaw and Pawpaw to get out there too. Round trip to Panama and or Malaysia for medical care will be cheaper than USA health care. Yes, health insurance.
Yeah.
If these people's premiums are going up from $500 to $2,000, yes, I would be flying. Where were they? I would be flying to Mexico every other month, and I would still be in the black. I would still be in the black. It's ridiculous. Good afternoon, Halician from Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn's in the house. 30 years ago, my parents were in Curacao when they were leaving Ghana back to Jamaica. Okay, they're facing Category 5 Hurricane Melissa now. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. Yeah. And we're getting a little bit of the tailwinds of it. But Curacao, which is why we picked Curacao, is pretty much outside of Hurricane Alley, like 80 to 90%. So, but this is our last night.
With global warming too.
Global warming.
That can change.
Exactly. So yes, we're in Curacao. We are in Curacao, y'all. 100,000 for immigrant employees to valid H-1 visas or to re-enter the USA. Oh, yeah. The H-1 visa is renewed annually. New requirements is that employees must make at least 120,000. Who's going to work at Intel? Who's going to work at these places, folks? When I was in grad school, I would say, and Intel was sending their folks to the MBA program that I went to. And of their folks, I would say 60% seemed to be like Indian, Southeast Asian immigrants, visa holders. Mm-hmm. Who gonna be doing all this? Oh, I know. AI is going to be doing it. I'm roughly $25,000 away from my goal. I hope I can reach that by the end of November. You can do it. All right. We're sending positive energy your way. Checks in the mail. Y'all, you think I'm playing. But we be channeling that money. You have to change your attitude about money. If you don't know what I'm talking about, join Beyond the Bling. That's our financial freedom program. All right, for late bloomers like ourselves. If you need a scholarship, let us know. Just put scholarship in the subject line. You don't have to give a sob story. If you say you need a scholarship, we're just going to believe you, okay? And if we've got them still available, you got it. All right. Hey, Creative Flavor and Travel. I have 2 more weeks, and then I will be heading to Guanajuato. Yeah, or Guanajuato. Guanajuato. I think it's Guanajuato. It would be 2 in Portuguese. We're happy for you. Was the trek and issues getting into Curacao worth it? What are your thoughts of the country? Hey, Valerina. A little bit off topic, but and we did. Oh my gosh, and we did talk about that in the pre-show with all of our members. So you guys come hang out. I'm not an island person, so I love them to visit, but I would never want to live on an island where everything is imported.
It's nice. It's laid back.
The people are cool.
People are cool, but I couldn't live on an island either.
No, but it's a cool place to visit.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice place to visit.
And it's beautiful. The people are nice. It's less expensive than a lot of islands. What more could you ask for, right? What more could you ask for? Oh my gosh. Karen Louise. Thank you. All right, y'all. If you need a scholarship, Karen Louise has just donated $500. Thank you so much to our scholarship fund for Beyond the Blink. Okay? So if you need a scholarship, send us an email, hello@ourblackutopia.com. Put scholarship in the subject line. Now give us a break because we're still traveling a little bit. This might be a week or so, but we got you, okay? We meet every second Saturday of the month. Every second Saturday of the month at noon Eastern time. At noon Eastern time, we meet. And then the Side Hustle Challenge people meet after that, okay?
Yes.
Black Americans spend trillions in consumer impact. Yep. But Black households own a very small share of the total U.S. wealth relative to whites and Asian households and per capita. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Let's focus on our generational wealth building instead of buying crap. Oh, she said depreciating assets. Our community makes so much money, but we squander it on stuff and things, y'all.
True.
Let's get back to our freedom so that we can have options. Seriously. Rick and I have been talking about generational wealth since we started this YouTube channel. We have. And now more than ever, it is going to be so important. And you will see we will still be traveling a lot, but we will be moving a lot differently going forward because we know what is coming, and we know that we're going to have to make a lot more money because we're going to have family members that are going to need our help. And we can't, in good conscience, let people starve, right? We can't do it. So if you are one of those people in your family and you know you want to make more money, but you don't want to work harder to do that, you need to join our Side Hustle Challenge so we can teach you how to make money easily, okay? Anybody who's watching is already a guru at something, all right? Because you guys are not kids. So you've got the knowledge. We'll show you how.
Yes.
It's not that hard. Even if you've never been an entrepreneur before, it is not that hard. So I showed that before. He's acting like it's his house. I'm telling you, he ain't going nowhere, y'all. He is not going anywhere. Anywhere. We watched Medea last night. We opened up all of those windows. See all the windows behind us? They open all the way up. And so behind us is water. You guys can't see it because of the sun. But behind us is water and a huge, huge balcony with glass so you can see the water very easily. So we opened all of that up and we watched movies last night and ate popcorn and Curacao because we can. And we want that for you too. We're not saying this to brag because there's nothing special about us. We are not unicorns, y'all. Believe me when I tell you, we are not unicorns. If we can do this, you can do it too. You can live this life, okay? You can live this life. Okay, so the first scenario, we're going to crowdsource this because I want to hear what you guys have to say as well. All right, let's read the first scenario again.
Okay, you're under 50
Years old.
50 years old. You did the smart thing and paid off your house and your student loan. But now you're tired and you have less than $10,000 in cash savings. And your retirement accounts have less than 60,000.
All right. So you've got a house that has equity because it's paid off. You're out of debt. You have absolutely no debt. And that's great. But it cost you a lot. And now you don't have a lot of savings or retirement and you're tired. We understand, right? If this sounds like you, if it sounds similar, we understand. There is a solution. If I were in this situation, I would start bopping around and I would rent out my place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I would do because the place has no mortgage. So that means the rent is your income. As I started my side hustle, whatever that is, right? And you know, it doesn't have to be about travel, but that's the quickest way out is to bop around while I decided where I want to get residency.
To end up. Yeah.
Because listen, folks, you don't want to hesitate getting residency. If you are listening to us right now and you are capable of getting residency in Mexico, get it now, tomorrow. Call your local consulate and ask them for a list of the requirements. Why do I say Mexico? Because you don't have to stay in country. You can get your residency and come on back home and go back to work. And then 2 years from now, you go back down there, you renew it, or you stay. Same Costa Rica, I think you have to pop in once a year, something like that. Panama, once a year, once every 2 years. Okay? So let's start working on that stuff now for the countries that don't, if you can't afford, for whatever reason, to leave permanently right now, get residency right now, someplace else. There is no reason to hesitate with that. So start that today. Everybody watching, especially you guys who have money, and we know who you are. I don't care if you don't like Mexico. Because if they start rounding us up, Mexico gonna look real good. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay? Listen to Mama Halisi. Auntie Halisi. Seriously. So what I would do is I would pack my bags. I would lock my stuff up in my closet in the condo, put a lock on it. Mm-hmm. Lock up all my stuff, and I would rent my apartment out or my condo or house out furnished and take all of my keepsakes and stuff and lock it up. That's what I would do. And I would get out of Dodge. Here's the thing. Once you get out of Dodge, you're saving money. You are saving money. So if you've got $1,500, $2,000 coming in for your rent, find the places that you can live for under that amount of money.
Right.
It's as simple as that. You still got your $10,000 cush, right? You've got that. You can save a little bit more over the next month or so for the first flights. And then how you do it is once what you don't do is go from Mexico to Brazil to Singapore to Germany to Uruguay. That's what you don't do, okay? Instead, you pick regions, okay? And you say, okay, for instance, you could go from Mexico to the other part of Mexico to Costa Rica to Panama to Colombia to Ecuador to Brazil to Uruguay. You see, short flights. You stay 3 months, right? You talk to the Airbnb person off platform, and first month on platform, make sure that they're kosher, and you say, I'd like to stay 2 more months. Can I pay you, off platform? That's not unusual. Okay, especially if the Airbnb host is local and not some corporation. Okay, that's not unusual, and you can get out of Dodge. That's how you do that. So what do you guys say? What do you think this person should do? All right, going all the way down to the bottom. $467 people watching at the time. Hit that like button as you come in. Let YouTube know that this is information that needs to be shared, y'all. Okay? Let YouTube know. Shantae, Mexico and Panama have no stay residency. Yep. Yes. Where else has that? Costa Rica. And then ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Ask ChatGPT. Okay? Seriously. And then double check it at their, once you get the list, then you can go to the immigration websites for those countries that interest you. Where you say, it's not my first choice, but I could do that, right?
Yeah.
Especially because they rounding folks up, you guys. They are rounding folks up. And like we were saying in the pre-chat with our channel members, everyone, the people that they're, the first group of Black people that they are rounding up and detaining usually are lower income. Lower income usually means shift work. Shift work means if you are no call, no show, you can be fired. So while all of these pundits and these white folks are talking about, it's not like they're gonna, they did get released. Yeah, but what damage was caused to our lives because folks were detained? American citizens detained, right? Some nonsense. It is some nonsense. So get your residency. Get your residency. How do you sign up? So Mrs. G, how do you sign up for what? If it is sign up, if you want to sign up for the private Zoom call where we talk about our meetup on June, if you're a member, go to the posts on our YouTube page and you'll see the Zoom link where you can register. If you are on our email list, you will get an email. Okay, so you have to be on our email list or you have to be a member of the channel. If you're talking about Beyond the Bling, that information is in the description below. We've got a Move Abroad toolkit. We've got a investments FAQ. We've got a scouting trip checklist. Y'all, there are so many resources that we have put together for you guys that are free right there in the description below, okay? Start with the free stuff. Start there. So Jackie just got her NIP. Right. All right, getting her bank account and looking at apartments this week in Lisbon. Jackie was at our meetup, y'all. Jackie's got lots of friends in Lisbon because she was at our meetup, y'all. Okay? Okay? So if you are a single lady, don't let that stop you. If you are a single man, don't let that stop you. If you are of a certain age, don't let that stop you. Right? If you are young and you think you're not retiree age yet, do not let that stop you. Now, Portugal is a little difficult if you're still working, but it's not impossible. It is not impossible. And it's very straightforward. Okay. It's very straightforward. Dee says facts, Halisi and Rick, less is more, right?
Yeah,
less is more.
Crap. Yeah.
Get rid
definitely.
of that crap. Get rid of the crap. Oh, house sit. Thank you, CK. Put that in the loop. When you bop around, one of the things that I didn't do this trip because I was trying to time things for Dias de los Muertos, okay? So I didn't do it this trip. But what I will be doing, because we're going back to Southeast Asia, y'all, I got to. And I want to see some more of Africa. But anyway, is we try to mix in some house sitting. So when you're doing this regional stuff, right? Another friend of ours, they find these great house sits in Southeast Asia. And so what started off as, a 2-week trip can turn into a 2-month trip with your housing costs being taken care of 50% of the time,
Yes.
or the majority of the time. You could house sit in London back to back to back to back to back for the whole 3 months that you get to stay in Britain. Okay. So thank you, CK. What else you guys got? House sitting is always a way. And as a matter of fact, when I was telling Rick it's time for us to retire, and he looked at me like I was crazy. First, he was like, "We just gotta dig in, and we just gotta get him a couple more years." Blah, blah. I'm like, "Look, I ain't digging into nothing. I'm gonna dig into nothing. That's what I'm digging into." And I started showing him the numbers, and he's like, "Well, yeah, but what about the travel?" And then I showed him house sitting. He was like, "Oh, wait a minute now. Wait a minute." And we've house sat in 4 or 5 different countries. Mm-hmm. It's a thing. House sitting is a thing. If you want a discount on trusted house sitters, we've got a link for you in the description below. If it's not yet in this one, it is. It is. I've already put it there. All right.
Just like we said, you got to change the way you think about things. Be creative.
Be creative. Be creative. All right. VB, I'm a member and would like a few options of places to move to which offer wheelchair accessibility. Family members doesn't walk. Oh, you have a family member who doesn't walk. I would stick to newer cities. Any country with a newer city is going to have accessibility, more accessibility. All right. So that could be places in Mexico, but in the city. Right? You're not going to be able to move to the suburbs or things like that in a lot of countries because they just don't have ADA, And then even in Mexico and in newer countries, you're not going to live in El Centro, like in the historic district.
Right.
Right. That's but just right outside of the historic district in the city where the infrastructure is there, et cetera, you will find accessibility. Even in Portugal, in like Parque das Nações, right? It is very accessible. Now, the buses you can get on. They have the ramps and they'll lower it and they will, and you can get on. The subway system is a little bit more problematic if you have a wheelchair. It is a little bit more problematic. I've seen them, but there's a gap. There's a gap, right? But the buses are fine. The ferries are fine. Trolleys, not so much. The trams are fine. So that's Portugal. In certain neighborhoods. And then you've got Ubers are very affordable and things like that. But I would say stick to the newer cities. Panama, parts of Panama, but the sidewalks.
Yeah, they can be a challenge. A big challenge.
I mean, the sidewalks were lovely in Panama and in Medellin. But just like with any city, where the tree roots start buckling up. Heck, it was like that in LA growing up where I was, right? Now the corner would have a curve so wheelchairs could go down, but you'd still have to go over that whoop-de-doo of the tree roots. So that's true anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? So
and
that's
you're talking
the biggest
about
thing.
old trees, so they're not cutting them down or anything.
Exactly.
Like that.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I would say even in Medellin, in the neighborhood that we were in, it was accessible.
Yeah, it was very accessible.
And the buildings had ramps. The grocery stores had ramps. So yeah, VB, I would get y'all ChatGPT. I know it's feeding the dragon. I know we shouldn't be using it, but I would definitely ChatGPT that. And then I would create a list and start doing some scouting trips. Okay. There are also some people that you can follow. Oh my gosh. There's a mom and she's got a son who's got some mobility issues. And they bop around and travel a lot. And she does a lot of content on accessibility. Start the Google there because I'm and y'all, anybody who's in the Exodus Summit, you guys know her name. Help a sister out because I can't remember right now. And I cannot remember right now. I am drawing a blank and I see her face. It's not disabled diva. It's not that. There might be a disabled diva out there, but that's not her. That's not her. I don't know. Okay, I'm marking your guys' questions, y'all. Um, Allison says America is going to find out fast. Yeah, the lack of tourism, the lack of workers wanting to come here, and the fact that people are leaving in record numbers. Have you all been seeing that people are leaving in record numbers? You know, it's going to be real interesting to see what happens with the World Cup and with the Olympics, y'all. I mean, it's funny because somebody was trying to school me saying, now, Halisi, that stuff is planned years in advance. No, we know. We know because I've been on the committee to get the Olympics to come to Denver. So I know how many, for the Olympics that are going to happen in 2 years. I was on the committee in Colorado to try and get some some skiing stuff or whatever.
But
anyway,
it takes people to come there to support it. And if they do not feel comfortable or safe in coming there or being rounded up by ICE for any reason, they won't come.
Exactly. It's kind of crazy. I don't understand the end game, y'all. I really don't understand the end game. Oh, Dennis, thank you.
Thank you, Dennis.
And let me put this on screen if I can get it up. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm having issues because I'm trying to use this. No, I need to use this. Okay, go here. There we go. There we go. All right. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you.
Dennis.
The irony is that the U.S. is different from other nations because of a thriving middle class with strong spending power. Do we have a thriving middle class? Do we still? The economy is heavily reliant on consumer spending, right? So I don't get it either. And I would argue, Dennis, that we don't have a strong middle class anymore, right? I think we have a very shrinking and struggling middle class, and I think the middle class are going to feel it the most. Why do I say that? Poor folks have been feeling it all along, right? Those who are in poverty have been feeling it all along. They never stop feeling the pain. But some of us have been prolonging, have been staving and pushing off the pain by getting into debt, right? And things like that. And we haven't reduced our spending. We have not reduced our spending. We've just reduced our income. Okay. So which is weird because it was just at half just a minute ago. So we might lose power on our things and then we'll
switch over.
We'll switch over sound. So, okay, you guys. He will be evicted. I hope the melon felon is evicted. We are not afraid of this coward.
He's already convicted.
Right now he needs to be evicted. Right? Michelle says, when I retire in mid 2027, I was thinking of moving to Panama, but now I'm thinking of South Africa. English is spoken and cost of living seems to be about 50% of US. So we think both are great choices. Michelle, it is all up to you. And so we suggest that you get our Move Abroad Toolkit so you can start asking yourself all of the questions that you need to ask yourself. So you can make a decision that is a bit more objective, right? You want to make an objective opinion before you go and see what it feels like to live there. When we do if you are a person who needs to do a scouting trip, now I know our friend Adelia Borshade of Pinky Girl Travels just did a video saying skip the scouting trip. And for some, if Bobby's watching, you can skip the scouting trip, right? But if you're not that type of person, if you're a Libra or the type of person who needs to weigh the pros and cons,
she had to go there.
Get the Move Abroad Toolkit, make objective decisions on the ground before you leave, and then get the feeling, get the vibe, get the zhuzh once you get there and see if it feels right to you. Okay? So we talked about the person who's under 50. We are crowdsourcing. We're going to go on to these last two and try to get to them before we lose power. All right. The second one is you are 62 with a healthy pension lined up.
Your cash savings is meager, under 20,000, and your 401k isn't what you would like. You're hanging on another 2 years.
Or you're trying to
You
anyway.
want to hang on another 2 years to get another $1,000 a month and try to pay off a large private student loan.
All right. So what would you do? You've got a healthy pension lined up. We're talking about, like, let's just say $6,000 to $7,000 a month. Healthy, right? Healthy pension. Coming from two different sources. Okay. And you got a house with equity. Not a ton of equity, but some equity. 100,000, 150,000, 180,000, something like that, right? You've got a huge student loan, private student loan, and you're trying to hang on for another 2 years to get another $1,000 a month. What I would say is, oh, hell no. Hell no. You're going to give up 2 years of your precious life for $12,000 a year, which you probably would be giving up spending in healthcare that you don't need, because them folks going to drive you crazy over these next 2 years any damn way.
Yeah.
What do you got to say?
You know, I wouldn't wait 2 more years.
Mm-mm.
It's like, no, it's not worth it. First of all, nothing is promised to you.
Time ain't as long as it has
Time ain't as
been.
long as it has been, and it looks comfortable. I mean, you can that, and I would not pay off that student loan.
I would pay the least amount
I was going to say
possible
I would renegotiate it.
to stay legal.
Yes.
That's what I would do. Okay? That's what I would do. Zell's saying the middle class is spending debt. Yep, home equity and retirement, not real money. That's what they're doing. They're taking out money out of their homes, right? To maintain their homes and to live in the manner that they've become accustomed. Y'all, we need to stop buying the stuff. How to take your money out of the US and with you. Okay, so in the description below, there is a link for a company called Border. If you want a discount, they can help you get a tax ID number and a bank account in Portugal. And you can start moving money over to Portugal and start having your money in euros. That's what you could do. I would never close my US bank account. I would leave it open, even if it just has a few $100, whatever the amount is, so that you don't get fees and nonsense, right? Now, no, as long as you are an American citizen, you will have to fill out the F-bar every single year that you have more than $10,000 of money outside of the United States. Okay? Not surprising, CK. But yeah, it's easy to have money outside of the United States. And I would suggest that everyone watching go ahead and get that link to Border and give them a call and open up an account if you do not have another account, because the dollar, as we speak, is losing value. As we speak, it's losing value. Okay? And the euro is still holding steady. So, okay. All right, I am not seeing anything more about our person 62. Now, regarding that student loan, you are not required to pay anything more than you are required to pay. And I would be negotiating and negotiating and negotiating and negotiating. So as y'all know, I still have a student loan. Mine is a public student loan. You can't get out of those because they got access to everything the government does, right? Not that I'm trying to. However, I've already paid it. Now I'm paying the VIG. I have already paid it and some, the original amount borrowed. It's ridiculous. This is from grad school. It is absolutely ridiculous. And so I was paying zero because of the income-based repayment plan. And then I got a letter. Where are we? I got a letter back in like August or something like that talking about, oh, your payment's about to go up to 600. 600? I don't think so. I do not think so. So I called them and I renegotiated and I got that payment down $41. And I told them, sign me up right now because I know the melon felon's trying to do some more nonsense. So let me sign right now. So at least for the next year, I know that the student loan payment is just going to be $41. It is loan sharking. For real, y'all. When my parents were in school, they got student loans and the interest rate was 0%. 0%. And then they realized all these black folks were going to school and they said, oh, hell no. We got to stop that shit. We got to stop that shit. Okay? All right. Last scenario, equally as important. You have Social Security and a government pension that garner $7,000 a month.
You have over $650,000 in your investment accounts and a healthy $100,000 in cash savings. But you're afraid to move because you keep asking that one question.
What if? Y'all be up in our comments.
What if they stop paying my Social Security? What if I leave the country and they decide that they are not going to send my Social Security out of the country? What if a meteor hits the earth?
What if, y'all?
Tomorrow's not promised.
Tomorrow is not promised, okay? And so for the person, do not let fear is healthy, but it should not stop you. It should not paralyze you. It should just make you aware so that you can take precautions. Okay, so what if?
Yeah.
What if? Because we know the melon felon and his cohort are going to do whatever they're going to do, and there's nothing that we can do about that. So what if they cut off your Social Security while you're still in the United States? What if? I'd rather be outside of the United States where people are normal and human and everybody's not carrying a gun and the cost of living is more affordable. And Karens are few and far between, right? So what if? I don't know about you. But do not let fear paralyze you, all right? Get the Move Abroad Toolkit in the description below and get your journey started, okay? Life is good outside of the United States. It is good. Since September 10th, we have celebrated Rick's birthday 3 times on 2 different continents. Yep. On 2 different continents.
Hey, you only turn my age once.
That's right. That's right. So we got to celebrate at a private chef experience in Lisbon, Portugal. There is no way we could have afforded that in the United States. We didn't treat. We subsidized 25 people. Well, we treated about 5 people or so and subsidized the rest of the people to a private chef experience where the food was cooked just for us, a menu created just for Rick for his birthday. Okay? And then we went to Mexico and we got catered food over our friend's house and had friends come in from around the world to celebrate. We would not have been able to do that if we still lived in the States and was still working that 9 to 5. And then we treated everyone to food and they bought their own drinks. Again, 2 days later, 40 people, 50 people showed up for your birthday, again, from all around the world, y'all. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You all helped us create this life.
Yeah.
You all, and now it is our turn for us to help you create the life that you want. That's what we want for you. That's what we want for you. Okay, what are you guys talking about? I'm going to answer a few more questions and then we're going to let you go. You guys, if you want to come, what if pigs flew, right? Exactly. Live your lives, folks. Live your lives. Time is short. Time is short. If you paid for Beyond the Bling, Benita, you're still in Beyond the Bling. Beyond the Bling is ongoing. It doesn't stop. 1 second. Yeah, it doesn't stop. So just come on, just log back in. Or are you talking about the Side Hustle Challenge? If you're talking about the Side Hustle Challenge, yes, you will need to pay again because in the Side Hustle Challenge, folks, every assignment is reviewed by us. Rick and I review every single assignment, and the assignments are hands-on. They are the things necessary for you to launch your side hustle, to launch your small business. So every other week, something is due, and we are reviewing it. So so whatever you turned in, we reviewed that, and so yeah. So we are coming back to Southern California, but I don't want to say the exact date on air. But if you are a member, we can post that. We will post it, and if we have time, maybe we can meet folks for coffee or something in LA. Okay, that means LA proper. Southwest LA area. Okay, that's what we would be talking about. All right. America is going to find out. Oh yeah, we just talked about that. All right, you guys. I think we did it. I think we did it. I want to just reiterate the five things that let us know that the next 5 years we are in for a world of hurt. We've already known, right, that over the last 50 years, wages have stagnated and the wealth has gone to the top 2%. Most of us are not in the top 2%, and that inequality is going to continue to grow. Number 2.
Health care for we, but not for thee.
The safety net's gone, y'all. It's gone. Number 3. The boom and bust bullshit. They refuse to regulate capitalism in a way that is good for the people. They just refuse to do it. And so we just keep going through this boom and bust, boom and bust, boom and bust. And most Black people, they be selling during the downturn and buying during the upturn and losing money every step of the way. Number 4.
AI, the big bullshit bill, and incompetence equals inequality on steroids.
And lastly, the government hasn't been about the people since the 70s. And until money is taken out, it's not going to be. I don't even know if we really even still have a functioning government, y'all. I'm not even sure. It's time to go. If you need help getting your money together, Beyond the Bling is our financial freedom program for late bloomers like Rick and myself. Everything that we learned to get out of negative 22,000 in net income, net wealth, up to 1.1 million is in that program. All right. If you need help making money, our side hustle challenge is coming up. We only have 25 spots, so you want to make sure you're on our email list. That information is in the description below. If you just want, the Ready to Retire Toolkit, it's free. Get started there. That's in the description below. Our Move Abroad Toolkit, Scouting Trip Checklist, investment FAQ, et cetera, et cetera. It's all in the description below. And become a channel member and then hang out with us every single week for about an hour before we go live. All right, y'all. We love you. I know we are behind in answering comments. We have just been globetrotting and trying to stay above water as far as answering emails and everything else. So I'm sorry, y'all. We'll try to catch up. Ask it again. And but we love you. We love you. And we will see you on Thursday from Mexico. Bye.